And this is the verse where it mentions health. And let's see what else is said. And when we look at the references, it mentions Psalm 20, and then that's it for that verse. But when we look at Psalm 20, the Lord hear thee in the day of trouble, the name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Grant thee to thine own heart and fulfill thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of God we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfill all thy petitions. I want to see if there's anything more to this. I mean, I'm wondering how this relates to the verse above. And we see that what's in common is the word that and what follows it. So you have that thou mayest prosper and be in health even as thy soul prospereth. And even though it doesn't mention prospering, it might be related. I'm going to look at the chapter as a whole. I might look at do a Control F on the Firefox and look for health or heal. Let's say heal. Highlight all. Is there any passage? There's actually none. But what I was suspecting, there might be a passage in 42, Psalm 42. So I'm gonna go up, instead of Psalm 20, type in 42. I believe it was here. And there was see, this is Psalm 42, and it's related to book 42, as well as the 20th book, Proverbs, and the 64th book, which is 20 plus 22 plus 22, which is 64, according to the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So it's the 20th book of the third cycle, since each cycle has 22 letters. So you have, why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. I mean, this is one word. This is simply a hint, but it doesn't mean that um, it's, it doesn't mean that health only appears wherever the 20th spoke is, or if you understand what I mean. I think it was also mentioned in 43. Yes, the last verse of 43, where it says, "Why art thou cast down, on my soul?" It's a repetition from 42 actually. And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. But what I do is actually um, I would take all this, select all, and copy, and I have an editor, and I use Dreamweaver. So I would open up Dreamweaver, and here's an example. It's 1 Kings 8. Here, to make it simple, I would post all the highlights in all the highlights in a part that's not seen on the web. It's in the page. It's in the HTML page, but it's not seen by the public. And I would post all the highlights as if I need to post something. If I want to share this to others, I will simply highlight all this, copy, and share, paste wherever. I mean, if you wish to see the highlights, only the highlights on the page on the blog, you can go to Firefox and click Control U, and it would show all this page. And so on. And this part is all the references that I've taken by looking at this part, cross references, and like everything that applies to that number or and so on. For example, in 1 Kings 8, my goal was to find everything that's related to 8, whether it's chapter or whether it's the 8th book or the 8th book of the second cycle, which is Amos, or the 8th book of the third cycle, which is 1 Thessalonians, or like the 8 chapters of Matthew, and so on. I decided to make a menu, which I didn't finish yet, but the menu would help to link to once you click, it's gonna bring you directly to the table instead of scrolling down continually. But that's where I'm stuck, and that's why I decided to just take a break from coding and do a bit of to do some videos. I mean, if you are an expert in coding, I would like to keep in touch with you, and send me a message, whether a private message or